You know, I was standing back here just doing nothing, watching him work like normal, and I happened to put my hand inside the body here, and I found this. A hide key. Good to know. We're just gonna put that back where we found it there.
Well, here we go, let's get those wheels out on the road. It may get dusty, but that's the way she goes. We'll build some greasy old cars and drink our AGV. Hey, don't you know, it's partly built.
All right, boss, what's the plan? Oh, welcome back.
Howdy. I finished welding this strut support together. I guess put a brace across the back and try to remember what the plan was from a month ago or so.
It's only been 2 weeks.
Oh, whatever. I've been busy.
Sure you have. Nothing's changed. Spent more money at Princess Scrap Iron, so maybe we can figure out angles today. Although we'll probably not have to do any angles, so it's probably a waste of money, but oh well.
It's not my money, I don't care.
Just look at the concentration. All right, we are moving on to the back brace, finally, after talking about it every 5 minutes. We're gonna actually get something done, maybe. Hey look, got a brace. And it's like kind of sort of where it should be.
Oh, that's good.
We've kind of measured some stuff. So are we gonna fully weld that or just tack it for now?
We'll just tack it up good for now.
Okay. We'll get her tacked up and then we'll move on to the next step, which I think is start cutting more metal out.
And rip this whole subframe off again and cut.
All right, so we pulled the framing off the engine again. We were debating how much we could cut out of the middle here. And I think we're gonna cut the whole freaking thing out because we probably don't need these mounts, but we can put these back after because we got your main frame mounts back here where this is all heavy and boxed. Right here, there's not a whole lot of strength. Who knows? I mean, there's a reason they did it, but it was probably for steering or the fact that there's a whole car bolted on the back. So I think we'll just hack that whole center section out, and then we're gonna shorten this up probably to right about here. I would think, eh, Josh, right about here?
Yeah, that's where your torque boxes are.
Yeah, because then we can just box up the back of the torque boxes. And if we keep this as short as we can, it means that it'll all fit in the dovetail a little better, or whatever you want to call the tail of this thing. So we're gonna keep hacking and cutting. There's a substantial chunk of metal gone. So I think we somehow gotta cut this and kind of box it in with the strut tower there. We'll have to clean these up eventually down the road once we get it all put in the body and cap them.
Yeah.
And we can worry, that's a nice thing, because we still got the main mounts on the bottom, we don't have to worry about doing the center brace until later. And like we were talking about Xing this down, but if we put a center brace down there, we won't have to. So I think we can just do a little bit cleaning up and clean up the front tubes and get them square and cap them. And put a bar across the front to replace that flimsy piece. And I think it's pretty much ready to move on to frame rails in the body. All right, we'll keep hacking, cleaning up. All right, so the wheels are falling off this situation. We're gonna basically remove the pan from the car. Well, 90% of the pan. We're gonna leave the front suspension and we're just gonna cut it. Because like Josh literally grabbed the body and pulled the rail of the body right off the pan. So we gotta fix both anyway, we might as well do it right. Say hi, Kyle. So we didn't pull the body off the pan.
Nope.
We changed our mind.
Again.
But Josh did cut a lot of metal out. And then we're not going to use square tubing. We're going to get some rectangular tubing in. Because this whole ledge with the door sill and everything is just rotten too. But surprisingly, the pan is like perfect on the ledge. So this side needs to be cut yet. But we're going to do one side at a time. And we got to go all the way right to the front with our rails we're putting in. So basically we got to get the steel so we can get started on those rails, and then once we get that done we can continue working on that structure there because we got to fab it in. So we're kind of at a standstill.
Need some steel.
Maybe we'll clean up a little bit, but I don't know, I don't work here.
Yeah, well,
So
I also don't pay it, so.
oh, fair enough. So I think we're done for the day.
I think so. Need to order some steel and we can carry on.
Cut to Josh saying goodbye. Okay, we're back. After 2-3 weeks of dying of the lurgy and the black plague.
Yeah.
We have metal over there.
Yeah, we finally got some tubing and hopefully some ambition.
We'll see. So I think we got to remember what we were even working on. But I think we were cutting sills out
We got the one.
to replace. I think we got half of the one. But we got to try and be careful with this piece because you wanted to save this door lip, right? So I think that's where we're going to start.
Just have to slide one of those in and just see where it was going to...
Where did you get spiders? It's beginning of March. It just snowed 2 inches.
Fucking winter spiders.
Winter spiders, yeah. All right. Back to work. All right, so we need to find metal down here. So it's time for the heater box to go because, well, we're not running a gas heater or tubes from the exhaust manifolds anymore. If we ever need a heater, we'll just have to put vintage air or something. So time for this to go. All right, so the heater box is gone. Lots of room for activities and like some metal in there and stuff.
Weight reduction.
Wait, yeah, we took... Actually, it was fairly heavy because of the fan motor in there, but we took out a solid 5 pounds.
Apparently they kept that fan motor from fucking World War II.
Yeah, it's got some weight to it. All right, so we got the spare tire out. We got the heater crap out of here. I pulled the fuel tank. Fuel tank looks good. I have to have a good look inside it, but now that that's all out of the way, we can kind of focus on what we need to remove to fit the radiator and all that. I can worry about where I'm going to put the pump, whether I put it in the tank or on the frame. We're just getting stuff knocked out now. Okay, Josh, take this and show the class what you've done.
Horrible, horrible bird shit welds that are making a gusset plate for the frame rail to attach to.
After we cut out all the rust. Look, he's a natural with the camera, isn't he, guys? Okay, so we cut the end of our beam and we made some angles. Now we're cutting some angles, and I don't know what he's doing with the tape. This is fucking ingenuity. Sure. Nobody really knows what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. But basically we're gonna cut this just about to the bottom both ways, and then we'll bend it together and we'll weld it. And it should, hopefully, be what we need. All right, we got it notched and tacked. He's gonna get it welded up. We'll clean it up and we'll test fit it in there and see if we gotta cut some more metal out or how it looks. But $30 angle finder, already coming in handy. Okay, so we gotta put a 2-degree angle here. 2 whole degrees. Okay, we got that one notched and got our 2-degree angle in it. So we're gonna put it back in, and then there should be another one roughly here, but we gotta do our angle find on that yet. So we'll get our stuff back in there and see what we can see. Metal. Idiot. Car. So what's the plan? Welcome back. What's the plan this morning?
Just do this.
We got this one pretty much welded in, eh? We're ready to cut the other side?
Wow, we should probably attach this.
Well, it's sitting on it. Really, that's good enough. It's all it was doing before. Get rid of this rusted mess over here. If we can get that other rail in today, that's pretty good.
Well, I want to cut this apart and just have it actually attached.
So we can actually get the door to open and close proper?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start with that and see how far we get. All right, so Josh cut all the rusted chunk out of the bottom of the pillar here. I know it's hard to see in this light. And now he's just stitching in some good steel. He's got some 16 gauge plate. And we're just stitching it in. We're going to tie it in nice with this framing we put in. And then we can get rid of this Bondo that is the body. Wow. This German steel is so thin and inefficient that it's a bit of a bear to weld, but we're getting her. We'll get her. Yeah, we'll get her tied into the framing here, and then once we're happy with that, we might put a few stitches along the sill of the door, and then we'll start hacking the rust out of this side.
Yep.
All right, so he's got it all nicely tied in here. He's got his angles. Door opens and closes kind of okay-ish. But we can adjust that later. That's not the end of the world. So I think, we starting on that side, or do you want to tie a little more in over here?
Oh, you can put it on the other side.
I guess the pillar's doing the work now.
Yeah.
So now we'll switch over to the other side and we'll start hacking out again. Clean up this whole sill edge. Make good steel at the front.
Just do the same thing over again.
But at least now we don't know what we're doing again. So Josh made his initial cut and now he's just literally pulling the rotten old steel out. There was the heat tube. This is the door sill / bottom of the body here.
And that's what bolts to the pan.
Yeah, that's literally what bolts to the pan right there. So he's gonna keep cutting. We're gonna have to add steel where we need it and get stuff cleaned up, but hopefully this side of the pan's as nice as the other side was.
One way to find out.
Well, after a couple hours of hacking and cutting, we got almost all that sill out of there. See, we can see right through. It's great. And I got the rest of the air conditioning system pulled out. So like I told Josh, good news is the air conditioning's gone. Bad news is it'll never have it again. And I did the bumper delete for him. But we kept these fans in case his computer gets too warm. We got some nice computer fans here. All right, we got it all cut out and vacuumed it up, and now we're ready to do a little bit of buffing and then maybe start fitting the new rail in. Hopefully.
Betcha.
All right, so we got the plates tacked in the front, got the rail cleaned up, we got the angle cut into the end, and the first angle in it, Josh just welded it up. And then like this side, we'll have two more just to follow the curve as best we can. And then we can lift up this rotten body a little bit and get a little more structure. And I don't know how much farther we're gonna get today. I gotta hard out at 4:30, so see what we can do. All right, we're finally making progress. Got the other rail sitting in there. Josh is just getting her welded all in. And then we just gotta space up the body at the back to the same height and weld a couple pieces in there, and it'll be fairly sturdy at this point, I hope. All right, so Josh has that piece cut out at the bottom of the B pillar there. So he's just gonna make a couple pieces of steel here, and we're gonna weld it in just like we did on the passenger side post. And then the body is actually holding itself up on the new framing. So then we still got to tie in the fronts and get that all repaired. He's got more cutting to do on the front of the driver's side here. There's a big rust hole, but we're getting there. We got as much done today as we did on the last 2 times we worked on this.
There's a lot less head scratching and...
There's a lot more of just, let's just do it and let's not think about it. So we're gonna have to get the ends of the tubes cut evenly, and then get the front of this cut evenly at whatever length we need for it to fit in there. But I think there's a little bit of welding, not a lot. Like, I think we're gonna lift it up and go through the bolt holes of the pan.
Yeah, I'll plug weld all those.
Plug weld them all, and then we'll be onto this, I think, next time.
I think so.
So, might actually finally get somewhere.
Might be able to put wheels under it someday.
But all the air conditioning system's gone, including those good fans.
Anyone wants them can have them for a low price.
Free.
Get them the hell out of here.
And a genuine condenser, too, which was nice and contoured to the front of the car. But it looks so much better in here with all that rusty junk gone. There's quite a bit of rust repair up in the footwells we got to do yet. But luckily the pan is good, minus that ugly patch that looks like I welded it in. Josh has got to do quarters, but all that stuff can happen after we get this working. That's all cosmetic stuff, so that's all like his problem without me.
After it's running and moving.
Yeah. But it feels like we're actually getting somewhere now.
Well, now I'm not scared it's going to fall off the lift.
Yeah, Josh just grabbed the back of this thing, lifted it up and down on the back of the lift. Everything stays solid. There's, mind you, the back quarter of the car is still not tied into anything, but like there is not a lot of flex in this car anymore, which is really good because it was bad. Like we were talking earlier, if you'd hit a good pothole, it was rusted out enough, the body would have just been sitting 3 inches to the left.
Or on the road beside the car.
Well, it was still tied in a little bit at the very front. But like the entire sills were rotted off. The back half of the car was basically rotted off the frame, off the pan at the back. Like it was bad. It's a good thing it only had 40 horse.
Yeah.
Oh, and I quick pulled the coil pack off this and pulled the plugs, and it's burning oil on one cylinder, and the plugs are like 75, 80 thou gap. So I think if we put some fresh plugs in it, clean out the fuel system and give it some fresh fuel, it should hopefully run pretty good, because it ran good when he parked it.
Yeah, 7-8-year-old fuel isn't helping.
Yeah. So there's that. But anyway, I'm going to go home. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, so I'm going to go home, drink some Guinness, and then go do some karaoke, I think.
I'm not.
Well, that's because you suck. If you were the songbird of your generation like I am, it wouldn't be a problem.
That's where I would go, yeah.
But that's it. We're done for the day. I don't know what the next video will be. Maybe us actually getting something done. Not the month and a half that we worked in this video, including the month that we were sick. So, bye. Say bye, Josh.